Hello everyone, how you going? And welcome back to Watch People Die Inside, the place that really can show you that action is a bit louder than words. Whether it's a minor inconvenience or something completely life-changing, these people just are unable to hide the fact that it is actually hurting them inside. So then we'll be starting right off with the statue is alive. Oh wow, that's an incredible one. I've never seen one that big. Oh, look at that. She doesn't even really realize, and then she goes out. She had no idea what was going on in the first place. She went, oh, what the hell? Why are you putting a sticker? And then you just see the moment the realization hits and she goes, oh my goodness, and it just absolutely legs it out of there. Look at that. But yeah, like I was saying, I've never seen a street performer be on something that big, you know. I've seen them be on stools or maybe even just like a little post or something that I guess they're meant to be kind of balancing on, even though it is kind of just a chair. But this one is just completely different. It is actually quite an impressive statue overall. And I think one of my favorite parts about the whole thing is just how the person just goes back to just sitting completely normal. You know, they've gone back to the statue immediately after just annoying them by tapping them on the head. It is just completely in the character to do something like that. You know, it's meant to be a statue. It's not meant to have any reactions. So of course they're not allowed to kind of laugh at what they've just done or kind of react to whatever the crowd is reacting to. So I guess you really just do have to give props to these performers. You know, they just always do such a good job, whether they're trying to get a crowd reaction from actually doing something or just completely, you know, just being amazingly still for such an extended period of time, just rock solid. I guess kind of in a similar fashion to how the Buckingham Palace guards just completely stand still and completely robotic. It is all the same kind of thing, and all these people are just absolutely crazy. And like I said, even though it does sound weird to say, it is actually just very difficult to just be able to kind of put up with the pain of standing dead still or sitting on your bum for just hours and hours on end. So yeah, even though I have seen a whole bunch of these videos before, I almost feel as though this one is one of my favorites just because of the amount of time that it takes her to realize, you know, as well as how amazing the actual real statue is, and even just the costume's incredible, but really the fact that she has a full kind of reaction, just kind of brushes out her face as though there's a spider web in her face. And then even after doing all of that, even once you look up at the person, it still takes around a second to realize what is going on. But hey, I guess the video is kind of a little bit short. You know, we didn't exactly see her die inside. Instead, I guess all we got to see was her just freaking out because suddenly the statue's come alive, and who would expect that really? So I reckon it's just an Oscar-winning performance from both of them. It was only a light push. All right, we've got a little bit of soccer. We're gonna have, oh no, that actually was a pretty decent push. I was about to say, oh, we're gonna have some just kind of flop or something like that. Oh no, I can see with his eye. Look at his eyes. He knows exactly what he's done, but he certainly didn't expect that red to come flying out of the pocket. You know, he might have expected a yellow or something like that, but you can see it. I'll pause it in the edit because it's a gift, but you can see the exact moment that his eyes just pick up the color of the red coming out of the pocket, and he goes, oh my goodness, what are you talking about? There is no way that that was from that. I mean, really watching it again, it's not like he kind of tripped him or anything. It's also just a little bit of muscling the other guy off the ball with a little bit of an arm extension. I mean, it's fair enough that it might have been a penalty, and it's certainly an infringement. And I guess also it makes sense why the guy fell over, so it's not a flop in that regard. But really, I feel as though I have to go with those guys' eyes because there is no way that that should be a red card in my opinion. I honestly don't know if he's staring at the red card or the umpire at the end. I think it's just kind of one eye on either because you just can't believe his eyes. Look at that. I don't think I've ever seen a more close-up representation of the eyes of the windows to the soul than that, because look at that. You can just see all the emotion just pouring out of him as he's just being blown away as what is just unfurling in front of him. And really, I'm just so glad that this clip was captured in slow-mo because it just allows you to just see every tiny little detail about what is going on, and the reaction time is just extended so much more, you know, because I reckon if this was at normal speed, a little bit of the magic would be lost in the entire clip. You just kind of go, oh, well, he's having a little bit of reaction. And considering we are to watch people die inside, you just wouldn't get that satisfying moment that is just so elongated in this clip. Look at that. I guess once again though, the only gripe I do have about this clip is just the fact that it ends too soon. I would have just loved to have seen how long he's having this reaction for. You know, some people might even say that he's still kind of standing there witnessing what has just happened. And also, if that's the kind of reaction that he's given to getting a red card, I would also have loved to see the reaction to if the guy scored the penalty or whatnot. You know, I can only imagine that it was a penalty considering he's gotten a red card and it was also in the box. And so really, if the guy was sent off and they actually scored a goal for him at the same time, that would just be an absolutely slap in the face, and you go, oh my goodness, I'm never going to be shoving again. But yeah, I can definitely understand why he's given those eyes when you have a chance of getting Messi's autograph. But oh, another soccer post. I can't believe that we've ended up with 2 soccer posts in a row. I mean, I guess this one isn't on the picture or whatnot, but anyway, let's see where we're going. Oh no, here we go. What is going to go wrong? Oh no, the texture isn't working. Oh god, poor guy. And then he just has to move on. That is such a shame. Literally, look, Missy like gives it a go, uses it a second time, gives it a third time, and then just walks away. At least it's good that he gave it a little bit of an attempt. You know, he didn't just kind of try it once and it wasn't working, just walked off. No, he did try it a first time, a second time, and like I said, a third time even, and it just still didn't work. So of course he didn't leave, you know. I can only imagine that his time is considered to be very precious, and he's a very sought after personality, so he definitely doesn't have time for your text to not be working for him to stick around just till you fix it. Strangely enough though, this post almost doesn't include any of the watching people die inside. It was just completely cut off at the top, and so we don't get to see the guy's reaction at all. You know, the clip's cut short once again. Why all these clips are cut short, who knows, but at the same time it is just completely, you know, too low and everything. I mean, I know Messi's not the tallest guy in the world, but I also feel at the same time that you do want to kind of get the reaction of the guy that you're filming, because even though I can't imagine you're filming because you know it's going to be a failure, I can only imagine you really filmed to kind of capture the entire moment, be that both people involved. So yeah, I do find it a little bit ironic, or definitely a little bit strange, that the actual kind of watching people die inside part isn't even included in the video that we're watching. I mean, I guess you still can feel the pain of the guy through what he did actually get to witness, because you can just see him questioning the fact that the micro isn't working. He's just going, what the hell, that was our moment, and then he just turns away as Missy turns the other way and goes, oh my goodness, that was my moment, I just completely missed it. And I guess this does make sense considering I can only imagine this is certainly a once in a lifetime event. comment. So I do hope the guy was able to forgive himself, considering he did just obviously bring the wrong marker or a dead marker at that. But hey, look, I guess you still got to meet Missy, even if it was kind of for a brief and fleeting moment. Many people don't get anything close to that kind of privilege, so I guess you just got to take your wins where you can. Cashiering is thankless. Oh my god, that poor guy. Oh no, oh no. Look at those eyes as he just stares towards it. Although I do feel as like this is something you can only do if you know the person at the cash register, because really, you can see that kind of look of disgust. But that almost just looks like a friend giving another friend just a look of disgust, as you're just annoying the hell out of them. You know, you're either holding up people, or you're just wasting their time, whatever it may be. They're just going, please God, why have you done this to me? You bought a singular chapstick, and you're just going to make me waste a minute of my life just slowly rolling it and edging it towards me. Because at that point, especially if the cashier is having a bad day or something like that, maybe they had a Karen yell at them earlier that day or something like that, but they're just going to be completely fed up with your absolute bullshit. And really, I guess we can just see all that through those piercing eyes, you know, the eyes that just kind of flick between you and the chapstick. They're just going, oh really, have you really done this to me? I can't believe what you were just doing to me, and I can't wait to finish work. And also, once again, what is it with all these posts? They just seem to be ending too soon, you know. It almost looks as though the guy just turns away and walks away. Now, after a head shake, just going, no, I'm not dealing with this. They just completely get out of there and just leave you to kind of check yourself out or something, you know. It suddenly turns into a self-serve. Strangely enough, even though I'm sure it would eventually just drive you insane, it is just kind of a soothing sound to just have that checkout sound the whole time. But I guess actually that's what completely makes the video for me. The fact that it's completely silent, you know, there is only the sounds of everything being checked out of the other aisles, and then you just have the death stare coming from this guy going, oh my goodness, what have I done wrong to deserve this? But hey, I guess as the saying goes, the customer is just always right. And so I guess that just must be the most efficient and just the best way to go about doing that. You know, it doesn't waste anyone's time. It's not as though this cashier just has to deal with hundreds and hundreds of people every day, and then because of your silly antics, you're just holding up a queue of 20 behind you. No, like I said, the customer is always right, so this just must be the best way to go about doing things, and I guess you're just going to be seeing more of this, Mr. Cashier. Oh, you're alive, and a cat, my bad. Oh, this just looks like the making with animals being bro kind of pose. Look at that, you know, I actually don't know what that animal is, but I do recognize it as not being just a standard cat, whether it's a minx or, actually I don't think it's a minx, but yeah, I definitely do recognize that it is not just a big cat. But no, finally I feel as though we haven't got one that is being cut too short. You know, we definitely see the entire build up, and then whatever the animal is, he just absolutely bites the cat, the real cat, on the neck, and the cat goes, what the hell are you doing? You know, I was just perfectly asleep and you just have to disturb me. What is your problem? Just giving the absolute death stare the cats do as the other animal just backs up. And really, I find it incredible about how expressive the animal actually is. You know, it does its initial reaction as it just kind of pulls back as it realizes that it's not what it expected, and then it just kind of stands there and it goes, what the hell is going on here? You know, I'm just gonna kind of mind my own business and just back away. I mean, really, I guess it's fair enough. You know, everyone knows the cats run this world, and so I guess it makes sense. If you have suddenly disturbed the big boss of the town while they were napping, you're certainly going to want to be hiding in the shadows and just kind of playing it cool, so to say. But really, I reckon what this video shows best is that this sub just isn't exclusive to humans. You know, it definitely extends into the animal kingdom and well beyond. And so I guess that really can show the intelligence of animals. You know, if they're able to kind of feel those kind of emotions, especially when you see kind of dogs being guilty and all those kind of just range of emotions that you see from animals. And I guess if nothing else, it just kind of helps us understand them a little bit better. Most desirable face? What the hell kind of a title is that? The most desirable face? What the hell? I cannot believe that this is actually kind of a news story or whatever they might be actually talking about. What kind of statistic is that where you're measuring the wall? I didn't even hear it. Hang on. Nasal tip rotation. What kind of metric is that? You know, that string of words right there doesn't help anyone that doesn't know what they're talking about understand what they're actually talking about in the first place. You know, considering it says the tip, is it talking about the tip or is it talking about like the end? But then it says something about rotation, so is it meaning the side? Like, what are they even on about? But anyway, besides that, then you get this, oh my goodness, look at that face. She's like, what the hell are these people talking about? And even that guy's kind of going, what the hell are these two people on about? These guys are making a news story out of absolutely nothing. And really, how the hell is any of this even relevant? You know, exactly like they say at the end, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And so there is no way that any one face can be deemed the most desirable face. You know, someone might have good eyes, they might have a nice smile or anything like that, but I refuse to acknowledge the fact that just one face can be called the most desirable face. Regardless of what the metrics you might be able to throw at me saying, oh, the nasal tip rotation of this person is within this perfect range. No, what are you talking about? Some people might like this, some people might like this. That is just what it means. And it can only be measured on those metrics about what the actual person that actually might care about you might think, you know. Not some statistic that is saying that one component of someone's face is just like the perfect ratio and everything like that. I mean, yeah, you might want to have a kind of a symmetrical face so you don't look completely lopsided. And also, you can definitely say that there are some things on a face that probably shouldn't be on a face. But really, to go out and make the outlandish claim that something is the most beautiful face, that is just ridiculous. And really, I reckon if there was somehow able to segue away from that topic, I would have a much better time listening to them than whatever these two people are talking about. And so yeah, at least this lady and this guy over here is just able to actually realize what is going on here. They just completely see through the entire thing and go, what are we even on about? You know, this is just ridiculous. Surely we have something better to talk about than this. Corn. What am I looking at? I actually don't think that this guy died inside. He actually just has a great kind of smirk about the entire thing, and he goes, what the hell has just happened here, you know? I mean, really, it makes sense why it actually caught his reaction, considering he's a massive just kind of yellow, and so compared to all the other mics which are either grey or black, he's certainly going to notice suddenly a corn coming at you. But really, I just wish we had audio, because you can so clearly see that he's in the middle of a statement or a speech or whatever it may be, and then suddenly the corn gets whipped out and he just completely stops and dead in his tracks, you know? It also looks as though it's an Australian program, so maybe I'll be able to find find it somewhere else. You know, you got 2UE, and then you got the ABC logo in there, and even the green's kind of triangle in the background. So I'm gonna have to try and find the original clip with the audio, because I just want to see him just sort of dead in his tracks just as a cord just suddenly approaches him, and actually becomes one of the closest mics to his face of the entire thing. You know, maybe he was just a little bit hungry and actually just called for a corn, and then someone actually delivered, and he went, wow, that was actually fast, and that's why I stopped him dead in his tracks. You know, he just wasn't ready for the corn just yet. I mean, I reckon my overall favorite thing about this clip is, like I said at the start of the video, you know, it's just such a minor inconvenience, but it just changes the entire flow of the clip, and you can see the entire kind of vibe within himself just completely changes as he suddenly sees a corn. Because realistically, even though it changes nothing about how he's speaking and who he's speaking to, you know, you still got all the other mics there. Nothing else has changed in that regard. But it's just incredible how one little thing that can catch you off guard can just completely stop you in your tracks as your brain tries to process what is going on. And also just watching the eyes of the guy in the background, he kind of just glances between the two as he doesn't know what's going on, but he doesn't do anything about it. You know, there's nothing actually wrong with doing this. It's not as though this guy suddenly had a knife pulled on him or something like that. No, it's just suddenly a corn. And even though you can see everyone's eyes just suddenly dart around and go, what the hell is going on here? And I mean, I don't blame them for that, considering it would be very startling to suddenly have a corn appear from nowhere. But even then, even though we have so many faces in this clip, I just don't see any one of these faces actually having a watch people die inside moment. So really, even though it looks like something out of a video sketch, and it is definitely an absolutely golden clip, I just don't know if it is a watch people die inside moment. Curse these broken hands of mine. Oh no, poor guy is clapping and then he actually hurts himself, or even just realizes that he can't clap to his full potential. I mean, really, if you actually just clap with your palms, you can still get a pretty decent clap out of it, but it's nothing on like a 4-finger clap. If you were trying to show off your clapping prowess to the crowd, you're really not going to get very far without having, or what, I don't know how many fingers he's injured. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4 fingers and then 2 tips as well. So it certainly wouldn't be a comfortable thing to be clapping. You can see that on his face. And actually, I feel as though if we pause it right at the end here, that is certainly kind of a soccer jersey and whatnot. So once again, we have a soccer related post. You know, that's the third of the month. That's incredible. But no, really, I hope he's all right and he's on the mend, you know. I certainly don't want this video to be showing him kind of getting used to his new hands, but it really does show you the reality of any injury, you know, whether that be a little cut on your fingers or even the back of your hand, and then you suddenly realize how much you actually use that part of your body, whether it be just kind of wearing clothes and just kind of rubbing against a saw, or even just kind of pick something up, whatever it may be, you're just not used to it, and then all of a sudden like this, you're going, oh, ow. I mean, I guess really in this video it is a little bit different considering the fact that he does seem to kind of notice, and I guess it's also just kind of the emotional pain of not being able to cheer for your team. You know, like I said, this is obviously soccer and everyone else is kind of clapping their hearts out, you know, whether a goal or a big tackle has just been made, whatever it may be, and this guy just has to kind of daintily just clap his palms. So yeah, I guess really for nothing else, I can just wish him a speedy recovery, so then he can just kind of get back to clapping his favorite team at max capacity and really just get into the entire vibe of the stadium and not feel like he's watching the opera or something like that. But now finally for the top of the month for Watch People Die Inside, we have Elite Karachi Rollerblade Task Force Expectation vs Reality. I have no idea whether that just watched it, but let's have a look what it is. Oh no, don't tell me this is going to be some kind of military or police. Oh no, look at them in their full black everything, even black rollerblades. Look at them. Oh my goodness, I have no idea where this is, but look at them go. Wow, it actually kind of looks cool as though they're in some kind of movie task force, but look at that, suddenly they have to go upstairs and they're chasing and they're going, oh no, oh, I have to be very careful up these stairs, you know, I wouldn't want to kind of trip over or roll off the edge. Who would have known that my greatest weakness would be stairs? But no, really, some of these shots look pretty cool as though they're in a film or something like that. This one where he jumps over the bike is a pretty cool thing, and then this entire sequence that they just kind of roll around the corner also looks a little bit funny. I guess kind of like a comedy crime show or something like that. But no, I just cannot imagine all the logistics around setting something like this up, you know. I just feel as though it would be such a pain. Really, who would ever go to a police force and go, you know what, I have an idea for you. How about, and hear me out here, you know, it might sound a little bit crazy, but let's put our cops on rollerblades that would be completely unstoppable until they get to a set of stairs. Never mind that, but we'll just have to install accessibility ramps all over the place. I mean, that might not be a bad thing, but I just cannot imagine anyone sound of mind just showing up and trying to suggest that to a police force, and then really for it to be kind of carried through to the point where they have an actual kind of task force, whatever they called it. That is just incredible. But however, really, in saying all that, I feel as though we just don't get to see anyone actually die inside, you know. I mean, I guess the entire clip is just kind of planting the seed in your mind to kind of imagine whatever you want to imagine about the whole thing, but really, you just don't see any kind of true reaction from any of these people. And I guess these two guys certainly just don't have the best of it when they suddenly have to go up the stairs, but even though one of the guys turns around, we certainly don't see a bad reaction or anything from him. So really, is it even classified as Watch People Die Inside if you have to imagine the outcome of the entire thing? Like I said, it feels like an episode of a comedy crime or something like that, not that it would actually be a real thing that is actually being carried out. So yeah, really, I feel as though if anyone wants to kind of run with this idea and actually make it, and not a series, but even just a kind of short film out of it, there you go, there's your golden inspiration right there. But once again, I just don't feel as though this is actually Watch People Die Inside. But anyway, that's going to do it for the top of the month for Watch People Die Inside, so thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, feel free to do the usual button, little things down below, let me know if you had a favorite post out of all of these. Other than that, you know, we check out awesome posts all over Reddit, so make sure you check some of the other videos out now, or maybe even just want to consider subscribing so you don't miss another one of these in the future. But all in all, have a good one and see ya.